Welcome! I'm going to show you how to edit the 15-ounce 3 mug mockup in Photopea. So first go to photopea.com in any web browser, and then double click this Open from Computer to open the mockup. And then it is going to load for a few seconds. And once it does load, we're going to be doing all our work in the handy Layers panel that comes up. Photopea might be slightly slower than Photoshop, but it is free. If you don't see this Layers panel right here, just go to Window and then click on Layers to bring it up. And then to add your design, you're going to be clicking the arrow in one of these 3 mug groups to expand that layer group, and then just double click the thumbnail icon in the Design-Mug layer. And that's going to open up a smart object where you can copy and paste your design. And next go to File, Open, and find your design. And once that loads, just go to Select All, then Edit, Copy, and then click back on the Smart Object tab. Right now it's doing a little bit of thinking before it'll let us click on this Smart Object tab. Then we'll just go to Edit, Paste to paste the design in the Smart Object. It might not be quite the size you want, so then just go to Edit, Free Transform. We'll hold down the Shift key and click and drag any of the 4 corners to resize it. And I'm just going to click and drag to kind of move it where I want it. And then once you've got everything set, go to File, Save Smart Object. And it's going to save the Smart Object. And when it's updated, it'll let us know. So then just click the little X to close the Smart Object and close the original graphics. And you'll see it put the design on the mug just like that for us. And then we just need to repeat those steps twice more for each mug. Expand the layer group and then double click on the Smart Object. And this time we can just click Edit, Paste since we already copied. I'll go to Edit, Free Transform again. Hold down the Shift key to resize it a little bit. Just kind of drag it into place, then go to Files, Save Smart Object. It'll take a few seconds, but then it'll update for us. And we'll repeat that one more time with the last mug. Edit, Paste. Then Edit, Free Transform, and hold down the Shift key and click and drag. And we'll just drag that into place. And we'll go to File, Save Smart Object. We'll close the Smart Object. Now if you want to change the color of the interior or the handle, just click the box next to the Color-Interior or Color-Handle layers to turn those on, and then click the thumbnail icon in either of those layers, and that's going to bring up a color picker. You can just click in this rainbow slider here to change the color, and then click in the gradiated box to change the lightness and darkness of that color. You could also enter the color values if you know them. And I'm just going to click and drag in this box next to hex in order to highlight that number. And then if you press Control C on a PC or Command C on a Mac, you can copy that number, and then you can just go and double click on the thumbnail icon in the other color layers, select the hex number again by clicking and dragging, and then press Control V on a PC or Command V on a Mac, and that'll paste that number in there. So that's a quick and easy way to get the same color for all these different layers. You can also adjust the shading on the mug to make it more or less contrasty. To do that, click the box next to the More Shading layer, and then click on the More Shading layer. You can click the down arrow next to Opacity and drag the slider to the right to make it a little more contrasty, and to the left to make it more subtle. Or you can just leave it the way it is if you want to. You can also adjust the lightness and darkness of the shadows under the mug. To do that, just click the arrow next to the shadows under mug layer, and then click one of the arrows in the other shadow layers, depending on which mug you want to edit the shadows for. And then click on one of the shadow layers and click the arrow next to Opacity and drag the slider to the right to make the shadow darker, or to the left to make it more subtle. If you want to, you can change the backgrounds. So if we click on this arrow here, we'll expand the background layers, and you get the table backgrounds and a bonus white background. You can also add your own background by going to File, Open. And then finding your background. I'm just going to select all, and then Edit, Copy, and click back on the mockup. And then just go to Edit, Paste. And depending on which layer you had selected when you pasted that, it could paste it above all the other layers. So if that happens, just click and drag the layer to the bottom. And when you're done, you can just go to File, Export as JPEG to save a copy as a JPEG for use online, like on Etsy. You can also go to File, Save as PSD to save the original PSD with your design on it. Please message me at melissabmockups.com if you have any questions. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you get updates to future videos. And as always, this mockup and other mockups are available at melissabmockups.com. Thank you.